Okay, so freeze-dried foods have really taken off recently, and there's a lot of different ways that they can be used. For me, the reason why I wanted a freeze dryer was primarily for making sure that things were preserved properly and saving most of that nutritional value as much as possible, right? Primary reason. But there are a lot of convenience factors when it comes to freeze-dried food. And I was getting ready to make breakfast this morning, and I wanted to come on and show you out how it translates to daily use and how we use our freeze-dried goods. Now, I have done a video already, a short one, on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all those, so if you want to go and follow those. But I had not done one here on YouTube, so I want to do one for you today. I have already taken my freeze-dried eggs from 2023. These were done in spring when we had so many eggs. We did not freeze dry them. We were able to send our surplus to a dear friend and two dear friends, excuse me, I say a dear friend, but two dear friends to freeze dry for us. And so right now we're in the time of year where our eggs are very limited in supply. Our chickens, for the second year, they haven't really molted. But every year, when it comes to the shorter daylight hours, they don't. We may get an egg a week. They just don't. So they live rent-free throughout the fall and the winter, and then they make up for that in the spring. So today I took some of those, and I put them into my little small Ninja blender. This does really good for small amounts, blending things up pretty well, and so I use it a lot like a food processor. So I'm gonna angle you down and show you what I have in so far, but also I'm gonna go ahead and show you this. These are some bell peppers that we freeze dried when, I think this was probably amongst the first few things that we freeze dried, and this is onions and peppers mixed together. This is gonna make a spice blend later. This is a seasoning blend that we did with our lemon powder that we made, and I added some of our red pepper flakes that were dehydrated last year or year before last, I actually can't remember, and salt. This is really good. I'm going to be using that for seasoning. That's why I wanted to show you that. Okay, so I've already put in the egg and I've put in the garlic. Now, what I like to put in first is things that I want really smooth, because this first go around is going to be to smooth out any of the lumps that have collected in our egg mix, because it won't fully rehydrate and it can cause lumpier eggs. They're still going to taste good, just won't look as pretty. That's all. Okay, so before I add water to rehydrate, I'm going to blend this really well. Then, once that's blended well, we're going to put some of our peppers in, and I'm going to get some of that onion out, and then we're just going to pulse it, because I would like to have a little bit of bite when it comes to those. I don't want those completely blended. Although you could, if you had kids that don't really like veggies in their eggs and you just wanted to add a little extra, or maybe you wanted to give them green eggs, you could use some bell pepper here. You could use some kale. You just blend it up, and it's gonna, at that point, it will change the color of your eggs completely. Of course, it's going to be a flavor change as well. Alright, let's get this on. Okay, so I'm just going to blend. Oh, this whole time my mic was not on. I hate when I do that. I actually remembered. To put it on this time, which is progress. But then I forgot to turn it on. So there it is. It just picked up. You should notice a difference in the volume. But I will mute this part because this little thing is loud. And so I'm just looking to see how well everything is blended up. Looking pretty. I see a few clumps of garlic. Oh, and that's the other thing. If you didn't mind having bits of garlic, larger bits in yours, then you could have waited to put the garlic in too. But I wanted the garlic fine in here. There we go. All right. You can see what a difference we have here versus what it was like earlier. Very, very different. Now I do see a few pieces of garlic. I don't care about it. It's it's fine with me. All right, so now I'm going to just put, I got some smaller bits of pepper in this jar here. So let's use it. Ooh, that was closed really well. Oh, that smells so good. That smells so good. So these are our onions, just nice and crispy, crunchy. I'm gonna put those. That should be enough onion. And see if I can get some of these peppers from the bottom here. When I packaged this, I was like in my artistic mode, and so, ooh, my hand. Okay, let me get a spoon. There we go. It's gonna work out better for me. Beautiful. I'm gonna put that in there. That should be enough pepper. I'm gonna put this to the side, put the lid back on. Later on today, I'll be doing another video, maybe. I'm not sure, depending on what the time allows, on mixing that, what I just showed you, with our garlic, and making a spice blend for the year. All right, let's get this. I'm just gonna pulse it, that's all. See what we're looking like. Oh yeah, that's good. That is good. All right. So the next part is where you have to be kind of careful. I prefer to, oh, I forgot to add the seasonings. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. And I'll just spread that around with a spoon a little bit. So at this point is where we have to be careful, because the rehydration process, you can add too much water. With eggs, what I found when I first did our first batch of rehydrated eggs a while ago, is that if you do add too much water, the water is just gonna cook out. So you'll get your eggs done and the actual yolk and everything will form scrambled eggs, but then you'll just have this water left over in the pan, and that can affect your flavor if you've already seasoned, but it's not a big deal. That's what I found so far. So I don't stress out too much about how much water to put in, but I just kind of play it by ear. I used an egg or two out of this, a couple of tablespoons out of this mix already for some cornbread. So instead of 8 eggs, which is on the bag, this is probably about 6-ish. So I'm just gonna get some water, and I'm gonna put some water in. I'm gonna blend it. And no, I'm not gonna blend it, because we have it where we want it. I'm not gonna blend it anymore. I'm gonna put some water in and then I'm gonna stir it. And I'm gonna come back in a few minutes. I have several things going on. So this is not like I'm dying to have breakfast like right now. So it's no big deal to come back a few minutes and wait. Usually it does take about 10 minutes for it to get to the consistency of where it looks like egg-ish. And I am using filtered water. It is cool outside, so this water is going to be a little cooler than I would normally have used in the summertime, when it's kind of like, you know, hot outside. So let's do that much. I don't know, that might have been like a little over 1/4 of a cup, I think, of water. It's just amazing how good it smells. Like, just like that, it just smells so good already. And we cooked it. Okay, that was probably, that might have been too much, but we shall see. Also, we do have those peppers in there too, and onions. I do want those to rehydrate as well. So, trying to get up in the corners of our bowl, make sure everything is mixed well. There are several ways you could do this if you had all freeze-dried things. You could have did the eggs first. Sticking to the spoon there. You could have did the eggs first, let them rehydrate completely. You could have did the peppers and the onions and garlic separately. You could have rehydrated them separately. That's probably a more efficient, it's a different way to do it. Let's say that. I always have felt that cooking is one of those things that you either are very scientific with it, and the fact that you're going to use measurements, and you know, you're going to follow all the basic rules, or even bend them to your will based on your knowledge of the elements. But in my particular case, even though I have a good bit of that knowledge, kind of like the way I farm, yeah, it's kind of chaotic. So, see what consistency we are at now. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes.
Sure, 5 minutes. And we're starting now.
Alright, I'm going to come back in 5 minutes and see where we are. And in that time, I can go ahead and get my pan together to get these fried up. That looks pretty good. The peppers look fairly rehydrated as well. Is that a lump? Oh yeah, that's the, oh no, it's red pepper. I'm gonna put just a smidge more, just it's a little thick. Okay. And I ended up not getting my pot ready. I needed to go help Brian with something. That looks a little bit better. Now that is going to thicken up. Just, I don't feel like, I don't think it's enough. If I have watery eggs, I only have myself to blame. And everyone always says in the rehydration videos, because I have like binge watched freeze drying videos, everyone says, be careful how much you add. You can always add more. You can't take it away. And that is so true. We'll let this sit for a little bit longer. Pan was still not hot enough. But okay. Now we just gotta work with that. Cast iron can be tricky. Get it too hot, burn everything up. Not hot enough. And you're watching a pot boil. Okay, we're cooking now. And since I did add more water to this, I am going to add a little bit more seasoning. Just something out of the cabinet here. Other part about cooking eggs in cast iron is always cut the heat off before they're done. Because even after you remove this pot off the heat, because it stores heat, these eggs are going to keep cooking if you leave them in the pot. So okay, so I'm looking for extra water. I don't see any. Sometimes if there is too much water, it will release after you cook. So like after they're like sitting in the pot, if you don't get them out right away, or maybe you don't eat them all. Oh, I do see a little extra water back there. There. Because these eggs are done, so let's get them off the heat. So, yeah, there it is. So, yeah, I put too much water. It's okay. That tastes good. I guess this is good because it does show you like what can happen. So, see, oh, let's see if I can. See that water coming out there? So, yeah. But this is not going to stop me from enjoying these eggs. And considering the fact that I would have had to go and buy store-bought eggs, this is so much of a better option for me. So let me make my plate, and you can tell me what you think.